both recognize math language, but also where they can interpret that math language and use it to either interpret the world around them or to interpret a situation mathematically. And I think they should know, like, as a discipline, the rules, like the basic rules of mathematics, like what you can and cannot do mathematically. But I also want them to, like, consider breaking those rules, right? So it's not...
I think I would define math literacy as sort of a two-way thing where it allows you to look at the world through mathematics, but also using the world to examine this thing that we call mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
Sí, soy yo y la voz de mi pensamiento.
Literacy in math means being able to understand situations and contexts that involve some form of quantity, number, or shape. This idea of using math to understand the world around us, especially when there are inequities or unequal distributions of resources, to be able to understand that more thoroughly, more quantitatively.
Pensamientos del corazón.
Standardized tests is such big business. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's one of the reasons why the curriculum has to match what is testable. So
math, just like it's just math and it's just generic, you just have to learn it to understand it, but you don't really just see how can I use this later on and use this equation to find out this and that. Mm-hmm. You just learn it to do it to pass the class. But
in the classroom, the math that we're teaching might not honor their history, their culture, their heritage, right? Or the math that their ancestors came up with, right?
Students should be talking and thinking about mathematics all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So not just that hour in the classroom, right? And to do that, you have to redefine mathematics, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to do that, you also have to think of yourself as a mathematical being,
mm-hmm.
right? And that might require redefining what a mathematician is too.
It would be taught that way, mm-hmm. This is reality in the way that we can show you that this is what's going on through a mathematical, concept. Mm-hmm. I learned more from teachers that were actually passionate about teaching the subject, mm-hmm. and were passionate about helping their students understand the language of math. Right? I have a different way of learning math. It has to make sense to me and actually has a meaning to me. So.
I like to take a back seat, and I like to have the students kind of guide themselves, which made it more student-centered, and made it a mathematics that they were producing authentically. Mm-hmm. So it didn't come from the book, didn't come from me, it came legitimately from them.
The work that I've done with students in math has been about having students think of themselves as mathematicians, come to become mathematicians, mm-hmm. instead of just math students.
In algebra, we do a huge project where the students research demographics about San Francisco. Another layer of that is using the math to kind of analyze, the distribution of resources in San Francisco and the access that different people have to resources based on where they live. Throughout the year, I think I open up to students, I tell them about my life, my history with mathematics, why I became an educator. And so I think through that, they learn more about what I view as my role in a school.
It's people have been so-called mathematicians throughout time, have been philosophers. They've been they haven't been just people who use math as a tool. They use it as this way of thinking about thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No es chamullo, es amor.
Yo, the soul provider, got a lot on the skillet, grilling it hard boiled, charcoal fillings, the dark villain and the light skinned niggas disguise. My mind sickening, define vicious written in rhymes. Time tends it to describe how my lines ending. You find imprint, described to your mind's index. My line chin checks and shine through your blind's instinct. The sun syndicate, fat as Biggie with no pun intended. No pun intended to live. I pick up where we slid and run endless till I buckle and become winded. And all the air from out my lungs slips into the sky like weed smoke. My peoples need hope and I'm the one with it. The soul provider, cold as fire, hot as ice. Rock the mic till I retire, die the son of Christ. Becoming one with life and live like death is